SoFi is continuing its breakout level movement, continuing closing at 30.95 today, pressing right up on resistance zones, looking to go ahead and reclaim those all-time highs of 32.57. So we've got some nice news coming in with the stock today. SoFi actually announced it's launching its crypto trading, becoming the first nationally chartered US bank to offer this feature, and this could boost investor interest into the stock. And that's what we saw today, guys. A nice continuation, green wide bar, and we're pressing right up on that resistance zone, looking for that break. Really nice stuff here on the daily. This is incredible price action. And if we flip on over to the weekly, guys, right, if we're zooming out here on the weekly time frame, if we're taking the drawings off, we see a very nice bullish run. We see a little bit of back and forth. And now we're seeing on this week, guys, candle closing over where we were wicking out at. So haven't closed over this spot before. Green wide solid bar, showing that the buyers are in that full dominant control like we've been seeing all week, guys. Boom, boom, boom. Bouncing right back after that incredibly fast move to the downside as the sellers gain that control around that $30 level, bouncing at that 30.95. Gave us a little bit of trouble for a few trading days, leading to that sell-off. And the overall market not being in our favor did not help at that time either, guys. If we look at QQQ, a lot of downwards pressure. Look at SPY, a lot of downwards pressure. And the low cap stock IWM, tons of downwards pressure. Now we're seeing that bounce on all those sectors with QQQ and SPY closing pretty nicely today, having nice days. And SoFi really in that range now, pressing right up on that 30.95, ready for that next explosive movement. You would want to see 30.95 get broken and claimed, as that's the only resistance really holding us back until that 32.57, guys. That is the main point that we're targeting. You could argue there's a little bit of micro resistance right around that 31.35 to 31.40-ish level. Besides that, guys, we're really clear to those all-time high levels, and we've seen such a drastic buyback after that sell-off. So overall market's going down. It's a tough position for the buyers here. There's a ton of things happening, and we do kind of give way. Really fast sell-off, but finding that support around that 25.66, better yet, that 26.31, which actually held up, getting us out of this pennant range. So we found that support here, bouncing a couple times, double bottom, retracing back down, but still holding up for multiple hours. It's on the hourly chart. Bounce back up. We're getting really tight within this pennant, and that's where we squeeze out, making those all-time highs. And it's nice to see that that spot held up once again, propelling us, gapping us up, continuing that movement. And now we're in a much better position now at that 30.95 than we were here, right? Facing all that downwards pressure after hitting all-time highs. The market was falling, and we couldn't hold that. We broke down. Makes complete logical sense. And SoFi is one of these stocks that has major upside potential. I still believe it's a very undervalued stock, and it's only growing, proving investors why they should be very bullish on the stock. And in the short-term aspect of things, that being said, we're just in a very solid spot for that continuation. We've seen even over today's trading day, solid green bars, a little bit of indecisive price action on the previous candle close, and then closing green, pressing exactly to the cent up on that zone. And like I said, guys, on the weekly, there was nothing holding us back from after breaking out this cup and handle pattern. We see that long, drawn-out cup and handle, 2.5 years of price not doing all that much. Create that handle, explode from that, and we've only had price chop sideways, right? Chop sideways around that 20 to 22, continue the movement, getting a little bit of a pennant, very small pullback comparative, and continue that movement. And once again, guys, we're seeing that smaller pullback, continuing that movement. So despite the indecisive price action that we've been seeing over the last, month and a half, couple of months, we have been seeing the buyers remain in that ascending profile, and which we're still on from that ultimate breakout. And I don't think that we're stopping anytime soon, especially with that news coming out today really aiding. And the fundamental wise, why we should remain in a very bullish narrative. QQQ looking much better than it did, had that strong pullback. We had a bit of indecisive price action, gap down. The buyers just couldn't really gain that control. We had a ton of downwards pressure in the last week of trading, but since this week started, guys, we've continued that bull run, right, with that gap up on the other day, continuing, and once again, really kind of holding that ground, not finding that downwards pressure after a solid gap up level and a solid recovery in itself with all that buying pressure. We remain kind of chopping sideways / slightly going up, so still a very solid sign comparative to that big sell-off, and a lot of people thinking that this is a major pullback that's happening, right? People getting scared out, thinking that this is going to be a long-term pullback within the overall market. So I don't think we get independent. I don't think we find another low structure here and then break out. I think that this should be the breakout, especially if we can hold over that 30.95. That is the most important zone currently on the short term aspect of things. And you'd want to watch that break of around that 31.45 we're looking at, and then that claim of 32.57. Definitely nice here, guys. We see volume staying pretty constant. You'd also like to see volume start to surge in here as we try to reclaim those highs and then go ahead and create new all-time highs. So SoFi has definitely been a leader of tech this week. If we did end up seeing a low rejection here, watch that 30 psychological dollar level to hold up. Continue with this chop sideways before then going ahead and retesting that and making that move to the upside. That'd be ideal case scenario. Finally finding a chop instead of finding a harsh rejection zone. It's a very reactive stock, so this resistance will be in play. But lots of times, guys, after a false breakdown that we saw here, lots of times you see a major spot either get broken out of or created in a more neutral aspect of things. We've seen that multiple times on SoFi, bringing it back here on the daily time chart. We've seen that back here, right? Strong rejection at 25. And we kind of eased our way into 25 and then breaking through that, using that as support eventually and continuing that movement to the upside. So definitely is used to being very reactive on these resistance and support levels. I don't think it changes here, guys. I think we continue to stay in that narrative. We are bullish. We're looking for a price target of 32.57. Being that reclaim, then all-time highs being hit, looking good to around that $35 level. If we did get that pullback, guys, watch for that 30 to hold. And if we continue this breakout, watch for the all-time highs to be tested. So that's all I got for you guys today. Pretty self-explanatory analysis, right? Watch the overall market as well. We ended up finding a weird pullback come next trading day. Could disrupt the movement of SoFi, but ideally, SoFi does not pull back much at all. We hold above that $30 level, and we remain in that chop zone like we were examining on the hourly. And to see that recovery in the overall market definitely looks like to me to be a bear trap. This was a textbook bear trap, I believe. And we saw that buying pressure on this green hammer candle in continuation, and we're not seeing the seller step back in. Definitely believe that this was a strong sell-off bear trap. And we saw the same thing on SoFi, super fast, knife down in price action. I think it was a textbook bear trap as we recover here. And look at the healthiest that we do, testing this zone. A lot healthier than last time. So very bullish on the stock, guys. Not too much bad to be said in the fundamentals or the technicals. So let me know your price predictions in the comments below. Where do you guys see this stock at the end of the week and in the long-term picture of things? Remain bullish in both the long and short term. If you guys want to see more videos just like this one, make sure to hit that subscribe button, hit that like button. Let me know any other stocks you want to see covered on the channel. And as always, guys, trade smart. I'll see you all in the next one.